is a secret that nobody seems to know about. How to make money, a lot of money, out of this residential property. This property is 10,500 square feet. It qualifies for several things that most people don't know about. We'll start with the lowest. When you have a property that's 10,500 square feet or more in the city of San Diego, you can put a second unit on that property and bring in rent from that second unit. The property has been divided with 2 entrances, so you can move into one side and rent out the other side. So, for instance, you put down $20,000 and then you pay your monthly mortgage that you will pay is about $400 a month because you rent the other side out and they pay off the rest of the mortgage. You have a really large place to live. Kitchen, bedroom, master bath, and your other people have a separate unit in which to live, and they are paying the rent and building your equity. So then years pass, you have a baby, and you decide to take the whole house back, which you do, and now you have equity in the house, and you have a place for the babies to play. And it's been paid off by somebody else. So that's one way that you have income for less than what you would be paying for rent, and you have equity in the house for less than what you would be paying for rent. So that's one way. But I had a different plan for this place, and that was to rent the second side to the elderly or disabled, and they get help from the city to the tune of about $700 to $1,000 per person, and you can have 2 people to a room. There's space to have 4 people in that second unit, so you then could bring in gross approximately $4,000 a month in that second unit. Now, if you want to go further with that, the property qualifies to be a they used to call it nursing home or
care facility.
Care facility, and you can have elderly or disabled, $4,000 a month gross coming in from that side while you're still living on this side of the property. But if you are able at some point to put that money away and put an addition onto the property, you can have 6 people staying, elderly or disabled, staying in that second unit. That brings you gross $6,000 a month. Now, if you want to double that, you add, well, first of all, you can, what I just said, you can do with, let me repeat that. What I just described, that is having 6 people, an addition which allows you to have 6 people living in the second unit, giving you a gross of approximately $6,000 a month. You can do that. No license required. If you want to double that, you go to school, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months, whatever, and you get an administrative license for, I think it's called a nursing home or retirement home administrative license, which allows you to have 12 people living in the second unit. That will give you a gross of $12,000 a month. And then you say, well, there is a law passed in the city of San Diego that you can't do that anymore. That's right, there is. But I personally made sure that when they passed that law, first of all, it would have been illegal. They couldn't pass it anyway. But I made sure that the verbiage was that when they passed the law that they can't have these dorms, that they had to exclude from that law the elderly and the disabled. So I stood up for, well, did it by phone because I was very disabled at the time, but I talked to the city council, and within that law it excludes the elderly and disabled. This makes it so that you can make the income from the elderly and disabled, but what appeals to me is that you are providing a place and a space, a wonderful place and a wonderful space for the elderly and disabled. That's what appeals to me. Because not only am I making some money out of it, which, you know, everybody likes to make money, but what's really important in my heart is that people who are so often discriminated against, don't have a place to live, don't have the opportunity, are the elderly and the disabled. And they are supported by our city, who pay between $700 and $1,000 a month for them to have a place to live. You can provide that place to live. So you're not only making money, but you're also doing something wonderful for the people who need it. And that brings in a gross of $12,000 a month. You do have to make an investment, add an addition, which I'm thinking is about $100,000, $150,000. Maybe you can afford it, maybe you can't. Maybe you can afford it later, not now. And so right now, you can start at the bottom with the income that pays off your mortgage with what I have already begun to build, that second unit. And that comes from having a property that is 10,500 square feet, which this property is. And why am I the only one who knows about it? I don't know. I've asked hundreds of people. Nobody seems to know about it. Mm-hmm. But I guess I read the law, and so I know about it. And so you can make the money from it.
That's great. That's terrific.
Looked out over the view off the terrace and looked down to the very bottom of the canyon of the lot. This is where the lot ends, according to the plans. The lot then comes up like this. This is the existing house. The cul-de-sac is there. If, take this out for a moment. Well, I'll leave that there, but this is the existing house. If you put an addition on, and I had planned to use shipping containers, which are 8 feet by 20. This is planned to be a shower with an opening for people with disabilities to roll in with a wheelchair, and open here with an extension of the kitchen. Remember where the television goes up and down? It is right behind there. So you've got the extension of the kitchen, bathroom, the shower that you can roll into, and if you're going to do a second floor, the stairs are here. Now, the neat thing, whether or not you use a shipping container, it doesn't matter. By using these little things here, each square is 2 feet. You've got an 8 by 20. 8 by 20. So you've got your bathroom kitchen here. You've got an 8 by 20, 8 by 20. So this is a 20-foot space with a 16 by 20, which you can then divide up into being your 2 or 4 extra bedrooms using this bathroom, and also using under the stairs as storage and your for your clothing closet. Now you can do a second floor, especially if you decide to use shipping containers. If you do a second floor, you've got a space that is 8, 8, 8 times 3. 8 times 3 is 24. So you have a space that's 24 by 20 that you can divide up into rooms. If you decide to just do one floor, you still have, remember each square is 2 feet, you still have 2, 4, 6 feet. So you don't open the door and fall into the pool, you still have a 6-foot little patio there. And this is how, where I've described, you can build rental units in this space for the elderly and disabled, which gives them a wonderful place to live. Because don't forget, you've still got this beautiful view going here. You've got the bathroom, you've got the pool, you've got a lovely space for the people to live in, and you are gaining somewhere between $6,000 and $12,000 a month gross by building the rental units.
Okay, ahead, let's go. Trot, trot, let's go. Trot, trot.
That's really cool.